This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Well, Baptists from around the country convened for the opening of their annual national convention at Bethel Baptist Church last night.
Prime Minister Perry Christie called for a more united front politically and socially in the country and told the church that their leadership role in the country must continue. He asked for a special focus on young people.
We have a very, very serious situation developing with our young people that I expect the church to have a voice in this. I expect the church to continue to play a leadership role in this, because it is the behavior of our young people and it is the future security of our country. And we cannot have people who are walking to church who are being molested. We just cannot allow that in this country. We cannot tolerate it. It is not right, and all of us must stand together in this issue.
While commending them on their accomplishments, Dr. Hubert Minnis encouraged Baptists nationwide to continue to accomplish their goals and set new goals.
You have created a place of comfort and community where all are welcomed and invited to become members. These traits are so needed today in today's society, as there are many persons that seek a glimmer of hope and love to turn their troubled lives around.
Just 2,500 teachers cast their ballots in the much-anticipated BUT elections on Tuesday, and it was incumbent President Belinda Wilson who beat out fierce competitor and former Secretary General Stephen McPhee to retain the presidency for a third consecutive term. During an interview with ZNS News this afternoon, Wilson, alongside her team, told ZNS News that she unofficially defeated McPhee by more than 500 points, the biggest win ever in the history of the presidency race in a BUT election.
Really honored that the members saw fit to return me as the president, and also my A team, based on our cursory numbers. We are in the lead, so we're just waiting for the official results from the Department of Labor. But I'm honored, and you know what it says to me is a lot of times we think that people do not notice the work that you do, but their votes spoke volumes yesterday.
Now, Wilson says although McPhee was defeated, he was still able to pick up a few more votes in Abaco and in Grand Bahama, beating her by some 55 votes. Meantime, Wilson says now that the battle is over, she's now focused on addressing several issues affecting members.
We still have the day-to-day challenges on the various school campuses. The major grievance is the outstanding salaries owed to our teachers, reclassification, reassessment. So I'm hoping that out of the 10.6 million that the Prime Minister would have articulated for this new national budget for 2013-2014 fiscal period, I'm curious as to how much of that is going to be allocated for teachers. The agreement, we've already presented the agreement to the government for 2013 to 2016. We await the government's counterproposal. Well, I just wanted to put them on notice. They have 1 week to get the counterproposal to us.
Residents in Pinewood Gardens are still cleaning up after May rainmakers left flood conditions and thousands of dollars in damage to homes. Lots of debris still litters the area as weary residents discarded furniture and other property they lost. Yesterday, Area Member of Parliament Kaylis Roll assessed the cleanup being led by Ministry of Works officials.
The Ministry of Works and a private company that's here now assessing the flooding issue, assessing streets that need to be paved as a result of the storm. And we're being very proactive. We understand the challenges, but it's always a process. And people that care about where we need to go understands that there's a process and they're involved in the process.
Leaders of the Urban Renewal 2.0 program accompanied police officers on a walkabout in the inner city today.
The group spoke with residents in the Bain and Grantstown community. Heading the contingent was Urban Renewal co-chairs Cynthia Mother Pratt and Algernon Allen. Mrs. Pratt announced that Urban Renewal will be partnering with the Bahamas Christian Council to hold prayer vigils in all 28 constituencies in Providence starting this Monday. Mrs. Pratt encourages all residents to participate in these prayer vigils leading up to our independence anniversary.
Yes. Certainly we will see changes in our country. That has always been my belief. And I believe that if it had not been for praying people, we would be far worse today than we are now. But because of prayer, we are not as bad as many other countries, particularly in the Caribbean.
Coming up, we've got highlights from Night League Softball.
And the Bahamas Bodybuilding Federation gets some good news. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm LaDawn Davis. The government and the Bahamas Investment Authority, in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the World Bank, will hold a Caribbean Growth Forum regional workshop June 24th and 25th at the Atlantis Convention Center. The regional workshop will assemble policymakers and practitioners from civil society, public and private sector that have been involved in the Caribbean Growth Forum national chapters to present and discuss the results of their dialogues. It will also offer a space to engage in a coordinated effort how to advance the working group proposals in preparation for implementation. Owner of the Super Value food store chain, Rupert Roberts, is now looking at a new strategy that will not exhaust but boost the supermarkets industry in the country. Mr. Roberts says he will not open up any more stores throughout the country, but instead he plans to shift his focus on improving the level of services and products currently being offered. And in international business news, a new report released by the International Labour Organization revealed today that nearly 11 million children are working as domestic laborers around the world. The report, which was released to mark the World Day Against Child Labor, suggests that 6.5 million children are between the ages of 5 to 14 years, and over 71% of them are young girls. The ILO says children at this age are used to pay off debts and are denied access to education. Meantime, the ILO is calling for new international regulations to fight domestic child labor. And that's a look at your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm LaDawn Davis.